Hi everyone, it's Michelle Gilmartin here, and I got this idea this morning. I'm in the process of making 3 Easter baskets for the little kids that live next door, and I keep thinking of little things that I want to put in the basket. And this morning I thought Easter patches in each of their baskets would be so much fun. So here's the first one. This is a design that I pulled out of Artspira. This one is actually off the paid program, but I'm going to do the next one with totally free and just using the tools I have on my Brother machine. I'm on a Luminaire, so I do have a built-in patch feature. But if you don't have a built-in patch feature, I'm going to show you how to make it be fun, even just using the built-in shapes that are on your machine. So let's get started. First of all, I find it easier to favorite designs with the little heart as I'm searching for what I might want to work with. There's sometimes the categories, I have a paid subscription, sometimes the categories are huge. And I don't want to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So a lot of times I will just filter the category by, and then pick my free ones or pick the ones I want to save, and I save them in my favorites. So let me show you how I did that. I'm going to search by Easter. And when the category begins to populate, there's a filter over here. I'm going to filter by 2 things, membership type. All right. But I'm going to do one more filter as well because I want to make a patch. So that means I don't need to see any of these cutting files. So I'm going to go data type, and I'm just going to have it show me embroidery designs. All right. So then my category is going to be significantly smaller. It'll take me less time to find what I like. So when I see something that I do like, I think I might have already favorited that one, but let's look at this one. Then I can say, okay, yes, I want to. This would kind of be fun. You could do individual patches. It's already patched for you with an outline. I'm going to just save it. And then I'm just going to go back, and I can go through the whole category, and I can find exactly what I'm looking for just by saving what I want and then going back later. So let's say I'm done. I know that I have saved the design that I want to work with in the favorites. So I'm going to select the favorites, and I know it's this little guy right here. I love this guy. He's so cute. He's kind of tiny. So you have a couple of options. I'm going to select create. If you do not have a machine that has resizing, you can resize right here in the app by selecting layout. You have to have a box around it, and then selecting your height and width there. I do have resizing, so I'm not going to do that there. I don't know, do I want to do a black outline? Maybe I want black, maybe I want more of a dark gray. Let's try, because when you touch color, you can change the color. So let's take that black and let's make it just a little softer by using gray color. And I like that better. It's not quite so stark. I'm going to put a yellow outline around it. So when I get to embroidery, and guess what? Once I get this to my machine, if I change my mind again, I can still change the colors there. So I'm going to select OK, and I'm going to select done. I don't want to save it because I already have it saved in my favorites. Don't save, and transfer. Now you have to have your Artspira app connected to your Brother wireless embroidery machine. It already needs to be connected. If it's already connected, you select transfer. Data transfer is complete. Now I'm going to just scoot over. I can put this aside now because I don't really need it anymore. I'm going to scoot over to my machine, which timed out. Come on, wakey, wakey. And I'm going to go to my pocket. This is wireless cloud. So touch the cloud and the design will be there. And there's my design. These load from Artspira as a pen file. You cannot save them anywhere else. Sometimes you can save the pen file to the memory of the machine, but that's as far as it's ever going to let you go. You won't be able to get it to software. You won't be able to save it to a USB. You won't be able to do any other further editing other than what you can do on the screen of your machine. So I have my design. I'm going to select set. Now, I really think this design is too small. I want to sew it in a 5x7 hoop. So he's tall, but he's kind of skinny. This will be a really small patch, which is fine, but I want it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to select edit and select size. And I'm going to select the size icon that allows me to resize with stitch recalculation. So I'm going to go ahead and make him about 4 1/4 inches high. There we go. Close enough, I guess. And select OK. Now what I'm going to do is if you're on a machine that allows you to use just an applique feature, you can just touch the applique. But I want to do it first, just using the shapes that are built into the machine so that maybe somebody doesn't have this icon. Some of the lower, like the 3550, the 3700, brother, they're all fun machines, but they don't have resizing in them. All right. So I think I'll pick the oval and I will pick a satin stitch. I know it's going backwards, but that's okay. I'm going to select edit and I'm going to size it. So I'm going to size it taller and I'll just keep going till it gets, it should need, that looks like it might do it, but it needs to be just a touch wide. Oops. How about the other way? There we go. And then maybe just a touch taller. All right. Or, you could also make it smaller if you wanted, if you wanted it closer to the bunny. And then you can actually have a satin stitch that sews so you can make a patch as well. Or what you actually can do too, if you want to make, like this one's not going to give you a, if you just select this one, the satin stitch, it's not going to give you a placement and a tack down and then a satin. If you want to create those steps, you can also create those steps, but you would create them first using the same oval, but then using just the regular stitch around. All right, I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm just going to use my patch. So if your machine is connected to my connection, which is only Avenir, Luminaire, Stellaire 2, and a SDX 330D scan and cut, you're going to have this extra piece right here so that you can create a different kind of applique. You can turn embroidery designs into applique. We're not doing that today. We're actually just using normal. So everybody that has that little icon will have this available to them. And it puts a applique around the outside of the bunny, which makes it easy for me to make a patch out of it. Now, this one does give you all three steps: your tack down, your placement, your tack down, and your satin stitch. And you can control. So the default of the program is to be at about, I think it's 120. Yeah, 120. I don't really want quite so much space between around my patch, so I'm going to take it down. I like it at 0. I really like it close. And that's what I did with this one. This one is at 0. All right, so I'm going to select OK. And I'm going to select, let's go in to change the color so that I can change the color and see what it looks like. What color I might want to use around the outside of the rabbit or the egg or whatever it is. It's a bunny egg, I guess. And so it reflects my gray that I changed. And now I'm going to select there and let's see. Let me try yellow. Let me try orange. That one's fun. Let me try the violet. That's violet. Oh, violet. Violet, that's the color that's in there. That's not bad. I think I'm going to go, how do I want to go with the violet? Maybe I want to go with the violet. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with, nope, I'm going to go with the yellow. You know why? Because I'm sewing it on yellow poly patch twill. So I think I'm going to go with yellow. I don't have to, but I'm going to do that. And I'm going to select OK. And then I am going to select embroidery. I'm just using a regular embroidery needle and everything. What I am going to do is I am going to put a hoop base on, not because I want a hoop base, but because I want to see if this piece of leftover poly patch twill is going to fit my design. It says it's 4.98 by 2.99. I think this is about 3 inches by 6, and I just want to see if it's going to work. If you have a projector, you can do it that way as well. I'm just going to thread up with yellow, because that way I don't have to worry. You won't see it anyway. It's going to get cut off when I trim, but I think the first color is yellow, so then I don't have to change colors again. So let me get threaded up with yellow. We'll do the first one. And so what I'm using today in my hoop. Normally, I'm a, you know, I don't really have, I say normally, but I don't really have a normal for patches. I think it just depends on what I'm doing. Most embroidery designs are not digitized to be freestanding lace. So if that's the case, you have to have something underneath them. Otherwise, the first time you wash whatever you're doing this on, it's gonna come apart. So today, I'm using 2 layers of wash away stabilizer. I am not using Badge Master because this is going to have this underneath it. There's no need for Badge Master in that case. Other choices that I could have made and why I did not make them, I could have used no-show mesh. The problem with no-show mesh is sometimes when you go to apply the patch attach on the back and then heat transfer, it melts. So it kind of makes the patch look kind of wonky. So that's not always a good choice, depending on, you know, the heat of the heat press and the type of the material, the product that you're putting on the back. I can use a tearaway. The problem with that is that the patch attach affixes itself to the tearaway. So if there's enough pressure on the patch, you could literally tear the patch off of the tearaway stabilizer, and then, you know, and then it's there. It's just, could I tear some away? Absolutely. I don't want to work that hard. I just want it to be easy. So I usually pick the path of least resistance. So I'm drawing the first. I'm going to do it this way first. I'm going to do like my little hoop based, just so I can see if my piece of poly patch twill that I have left will actually work. I think it will. I kind of thought it would when I got here, but, you know, when I pulled it out, but I think this is going to be more proof. So yeah, it's going to work just fine. The other thing I could do is I could touch my projector because I'm on a luminaire. Let's go. We have to return. I can touch the projector. Can't do it after you started stitching. All right. So I can see. And then let me move the projector up. Oh, that's enough there. I probably don't have it down far enough. Yep, I can see that it would have fit. I could have tested it that way. But if you don't have the projector, then it's nice to have a placement line for the poly patch twill. And so now what I'm going to do actually is back up. And I'm going to stitch that again. And this time I'm going to attach my poly patch twill to... No, you know what? I'm not going to do that because if I have to trim this, I'm going to use spray based. So give me a second. I'm going to go spray baste the back of this. Yeah, I know I could probably pull the basting stitches out, but did I mention that I'm kind of a lazy girl? I just want to do it the best way I can with the least amount of work because I do a ton of them. It's not like I only do the ones for the kids next door. All right, so that's all on there nice and tight. I'm not going to do that hoop baste again because I don't want to have to pick the stitches out before I trim. Before, you know, when the bunny duck or whatever, the bunny egg gets done. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch this, and I'm going to pause the camera for stitching. It's just stitching. We can just watch the needle go up and down. What I will do is return when it's time to trim around. I am back, and I ended up using a dark brown, and I really like that. I like that it's not quite as stark as the black. So the next 3 steps are going to be the applique material, the applique position, and then the satin stitch. Since my fabric's already down, I'm just going to go ahead and create those steps all with yellow thread. Now, when I'm doing patches, I do put the matching bobbin thread in for the satin stitch. So before I was just using white bobbin thread, but we make those patches pretty. We make the thread match. All right, I'm going to go ahead and so the patch substrate that's on the stuff that's on the back of the patch really makes some dust when it's stitching. So it's always a good idea when you get done to kind of check your bobbin area and, you know, dust it, vacuum it, brush it, however you get lint out, but never blow it into the bed of the machine. All right, so I haven't done any of the applique material or the applique position because I put this down before that happened. So I'm going to run it now because that's going to give me a cutting line. And I'm going to run both of those straight stitches, both the applique position and the applique material, because they're both straight stitches. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim it. And I'm just going to run it again. Puppy's just on the floor upside down, just having, you know, just stretching out on her back, making puppy sounds. So that's kind of what you're hearing. All right, so I'm just going to take this off and I'm going to use my double curved scissors to trim, and I will be right back. All right, when you trim, you want to go as close to the line as you can get without going through the line. And it actually makes it a little easier in this case because I ran both lines. I ran the applique material and the applique position. So I had 2 rows of stitching to follow, but the 2 rows of stitching also helps hold the patch fabric down. And now we're going to just finish it off with a nice little satin stitch. This is going to take a few minutes to stitch, so I'm going to go ahead and pause while it just goes around doing a satin stitch. All right, all done. Look how cute that is. So I'm going to take it out of the hoop now, and I'm going to trim as close as I can around the outside edges. But if you can't get all the water-soluble stabilizer off of it, here's my best trick ever. Makeup sponges. I think I got a pack of 100 of them I want to say for $10 on Amazon. So I just wet them in hot water and go around the edges. And then to finish your patch off, I got to finish this one while the other one was sewing. This has patch attach on it, but you could use a couple of other products if you wanted. I use patch attach. Sometimes I use Heat and Bond Heavy Ultra Hold. Depends on where the patch is going. And then sometimes I just say, go ahead and, just do some stitching and stitch it down. I mean, if it's going to go on a kid's shirt that's going to go in the washing machine, I would say, yes, use the patch attach or use Heat and Bond Ultra, but you might want to run a few stitches around the outside edge of the patch. Anyway, I have got one more bunny patch to sew because I have to do 3 baskets. So I hope you enjoyed this. And there's so much fun stuff in Artspira. Give it a try.